Betrayal is a funny thing. You never see it coming from the people you trust the most. You build a life with someone, share your deepest thoughts, dreams, and vulnerabilities, and in return, you expect loyalty. I never thought I'd be the guy telling a story like this. How my wife, the woman I vowed to spend my life with, thought she could deceive me and get away with it. But secrets have a way of surfacing, and when I found out the truth, I didn't just confront her. I made sure she'd regret it for the rest of her life. Before I dive into the shocking details of how I uncovered her affair and exposed her lies, take a second to hit that subscribe button. This story is packed with twists, heartbreak, and the ultimate revenge. You won't want to miss it. For 10 years, I thought I had a strong, loving marriage. My wife, Sarah, and I met in college, fell in love fast, and built a life together. She was beautiful, intelligent, and charming, everything I had ever wanted in a partner. I worked hard to provide for us while she pursued her passion for writing, working as a freelance editor. We had a nice house, no major financial issues, and from the outside, our marriage looked perfect. But looking back, I now see the small cracks that were forming long before I noticed anything was wrong. It started with subtle changes. Sarah began dressing up more, even when she wasn't going anywhere important. She started taking extra time getting ready before quick grocery runs and coming home smelling like expensive cologne that wasn't mine. She'd spend more time on her phone, always tilting the screen away from me. At night, she'd stay up late, texting and laughing softly while pretending to work. I wasn't suspicious at first. I trusted her. But trust is a dangerous thing when placed in the wrong hands. The first real gut punch came on a random Tuesday evening. I had finished work early and decided to surprise Sarah with her favorite takeout. I drove to the small cafe she loved, planning to grab her a latte and bring it home with dinner. As I pulled into the parking lot, my heart stopped. There she was, sitting at a small outdoor table, laughing with another man. He wasn't just any man. He was well-dressed, about our age, and leaning in way too close for a friendly conversation. Her hand brushed against his, her smile wide and full of a warmth I hadn't seen in a long time. I didn't storm in. I didn't cause a scene. Instead, I parked my car and watched. I needed to be sure. My gut was screaming at me, but my heart didn't want to believe it. After about 20 minutes, they both stood up. He reached for her hand, and she didn't pull away. They walked toward his car together, and as they reached it, he leaned down and kissed her. That was all the confirmation I needed. Instead of confronting her that night, I decided to play the long game. If she thought she was being sneaky, I'd be sneakier. I started paying closer attention. I checked her phone bill and noticed a new, frequently dialed number. I installed a small security camera near the front door, disguised as a light fixture, just in case she was sneaking out when I wasn't home. I even created a fake social media profile and sent her a friend request, just to see if she was hiding anything there. The more I dug, the worse it got. Texts like, "I can't wait to see you again. He has no idea. I wish I could spend the night with you. You make me feel alive in ways I haven't in years." It felt like I was reading someone else's life, someone else's nightmare. The security camera caught her sneaking out twice while I was working late. She'd leave, dressed up, and return hours later, her hair slightly messy, her lipstick smudged. Still, I didn't confront her. Not yet. I needed more. The opportunity came sooner than expected. She told me she had a girls' weekend planned with some of her old college friends. It was the perfect cover. No need to sneak out, no need to hide. So, I followed her. She didn't go to a hotel with her friends. She went straight to a small cabin outside the city, a secluded place perfect for secret lovers. I parked my car down the road and waited. Eventually, her mystery man arrived. I took photos, recorded videos, and even captured their intimate moments through the open cabin windows. It was all the proof I needed. Now came the best part, the revenge. I compiled everything, texts, videos, pictures, and put them together in a neat little package. I emailed it to her parents, her siblings, and even a few of her closest friends. I made sure they all knew the truth before she even had a chance to spin a story. Then, I set up a surprise, romantic dinner at home. Candles, wine, her favorite meal. She walked in all smiles, thinking she had fooled me yet again. I let her sit down, pour herself some wine, and then I pulled out the folder with all the evidence. Her face drained of color. "What is this?" she whispered. "This," I said calmly, "is your secret life. The one you thought you could hide from me." She flipped through the pages, her hands shaking. When she got to the photos of her and her lover at the cabin, she gasped, covering her mouth. "I can explain," she started, but I cut her off. "I don't need an explanation. I already know everything." Then I dropped the bombshell. "By the way, check your phone. Your family knows. Your friends know. And don't bother calling your lover, his wife knows too." Her eyes widened in horror as she frantically grabbed her phone. The messages were already coming in, family members furious, friends in shock. She collapsed onto the chair, sobbing.
"Please, Mike. We can fix this."
I shook my head. "No, you broke this. I'm just making sure everyone sees the truth." I handed her divorce papers and calmly walked out of the house. The divorce was brutal, for her. With all the evidence, I walked away with everything. She lost the house, half of our savings, and the respect of everyone she cared about. Her lover? His wife left him, took their kids, and from what I hear, he lost his job too. As for me, I moved on. It wasn't easy, but I refused to let her betrayal define me. The lesson here? Cheaters think they can hide the truth. But the truth always comes out. Thanks for reading my story. If you want more real-life stories of betrayal, revenge, and justice, hit that subscribe button. Life may not always be fair, but sometimes karma needs a little push.